October 11, 2022. Marcus Giavanni here. Hashtag Giavanni Mayoral Candidate First City Summit for Denver News. You look at the very top, and that's Denver, right? Joe Biden administration picked Denver to host the first cities. This was June 8th. See, they think they all knew that before anybody else. And so what we do is, if we keep writing things that we think is going to happen, then the people that are reading it will be able to manipulate things. So we don't. We only put out enough of there so that these weak writers get caught up in our web. And so then what happens is artificial intelligence index them as democracy sluts. The video game that we're making, it's the most violent video game in the world. It's immersive. You're going to walk into it. It won't be available to kids. If a kid's voice is even picked up by the microphone in anywhere, it shuts down, and the IP address is reported. So there's going to be directions for this. We're doing a movie too called socialgulag.com. That's crazy, but let's stick on point. So anyways, we already built this conversation back in 2011 when I was talking about the Denver metropolis, and then the Fresh Start program where I will invest $100 a month for, say 10 kids for 12 years, my term, because this is going to take 12 years to turn what these people have done for the last 60 years. I've seen the visions. I've done the advanced algorithms. This is why I'm here. Because of the IT people that think that you're all going to be able to bullshit what's coming, believe me, they'll cancel it. They will cancel it if things don't. And this is the digital world, because some new things are gonna change, and I can't tell you what those changes are because I'm not at liberty to. It's called trade secrets. You know what trade secrets are? Go ask your lawyers. This is something that the city and county of Denver has failed to deliver to its citizens. Nothing but harm. They didn't deliver a system that keeps them from the harm. Keeps them from the record high murders. You got all women mayors that are all bloviating on how they'll be the first mayor. They don't give a fuck about the crime. They don't give a fuck about the economy, and they surely don't give a fuck about the services. And all the city council members, the citizens of Denver, you 18, 28, and 38-year-olds, I'm telling you, when I was your age, I'm 62, when I was your age, the same fucking people, different colors, different looks, different men and women. We didn't have men trying to pretend to be women, and we didn't have women trying to pretend men. Or, when you say pretend, you don't know anymore. Why would a guy go join a woman's sport? Oh, I'm going to become a man because I couldn't win in a woman. Don't be bullshitted, folks. Fuck. When it comes to money, man, everybody could be a Tootsie. So, anyways, go ask... Oh man, some of the actors are all dying. It's weird. Anyways, excuse me. So when you look at the players, it's the same ones. Denver, right? The way they build their website, I'm not going to tell you, but they have a website that should be banned. It gives them the edge over everybody else. They're older systems. They're converting them, but it's not going to last long. Because as soon as things get done, we need them to keep doing it. See, we could have blocked them a long time ago, but we need them to keep doing what they're doing in order to build up a digital trove of evidence that are stored in the cloud that are going to be used against these fucking people in the coming months. For me, I don't care. The government came in and ruined my life in 1993. They finished it off throughout the decades, but I'm still here. I'm tattered, I'm torn, I'm broken, but I'm fucking living. and I'm happy, and I will not be a victim. A victim is someone that had something happen to them and they took it up. They took it. Not me. I just begun the fight, man. And I don't fight in the mortal world anymore. I fight in the digital world. I can do far more good and for the betterment of the IoT and create in my metaverse that I control with everything I do over those that can't in my metaverse. My metaverse, I'm a main character for a candidate for mayor. When you're a writer and you're writing about me and you don't tell the full truth, like I dealt with them all. You know, the last one was going to be Joe. I had one woman, but they're all fake. I hear their voices on the phone, like, oh, and then I go look at what they do, and I'm fuck. So, um, they don't come representing the citizens of Denver. They come representing denvergov.org. And it's been my pleasure to index every one of you fucks. So all the times I cried at night when you took my kids away, all off of false allegations, letting my ex leave town whenever she wanted, but I couldn't. And she left finally in 2014. I think she left sooner than that, but I can't prove it because I wasn't allowed to know where she was. I just remember one court hearing saying, you know, Miss blah blah blah, I've been sitting here listening to you rant and rave about this guy over here, right? And with all the things that you said about this guy, and you leave town, he follows the rules, you break them, he follows. We've had you were in Pennsylvania one time, and we did a conference call, folks. We were doing conference calls back in the day, so it's nothing new in courts. But now we're going to digitalize it. And the judge is going to be able to see some pretty amazing things. They're going to wake up in the morning and go, wow, I can't wait to get to fucking work. Because we streamline it, but they don't want to streamline it. They want to keep our judges in the dark. They want to keep everybody in the dark while the light's been turned on. And it's a digital light that shines far brighter. It can pick up all the voices, all your locations, all your text messages, all your emails. And do you know who gets first dub of all that? Your internet provider. All they have to do is put somebody on another computer with what your desktop looks like, and they can see everything you're doing. And that's your internet providers. Then you have Homeland Security, to who they answer to which they have to. I'm 100% into it. I've been part of the Homeland Security since the gman.org show on WNIS in Norfolk, Virginia. I had a radio show there, and we were building hurricane homes, and it was, I live a life, folks. I live the life that most people just say, how the fuck did you do all this? If I didn't write my book on racial profiling and the demise and the fall of the FBI, I predicted it. And you look at the back of the book, it says a book for the world for the 21st century. And we're already coming into 23 years, and nothing's gotten better. Everything's gotten worse. We have to take care of those that can't take care of themselves, and there's a lot of mental problems. Not all citizens have it, but these are people that are bussed into Denver, and Denver takes them and then uses all the money. You go to Denver Health and Human Services, you go to the insurance, and you look it up, you see Chihuahua, Mexico. You start seeing Guatemala. Right in front of your eyes, they're sending this money to those people now. So when you give up and go look, it's shocking, but this is where it's going, man. And they don't realize that they're doing it for the base of the party, And those people are all old, and so once they die off, then the new generation, those 38 and 3 year olds that are now, the DACA kids and all that, they struck down the DACA law or something. And, you know, for me, if it was me and I was president, this is what I'd do. I'd just let them all stay. They're already here. They got families. They love their teachers. They worked hard. They're not all fuck ups. But now we got a new batch coming in. We had almost 3 million encounters plus. We got 2 million people, not even vetted. And what's funny is the people that support these people, they tell them, you got to wear masks. You don't get any of this. We have to give it to them. So now they're getting bussed around. They're eating really good, staying in the plush hotels, while American citizens live in our fucking streets in tents. While Micah Hancock goes leaving town jet setting without a mask, comes back, oh, I'm sorry, groveling, humble groveling. He's the biggest humble groveling. Mayor Hancock, I know you listen to these. And even if you didn't, your people do. And even if they don't, their people do. And even if they don't, their people do. And even if they don't, there's 200,000 voters right now that are so fucking pissed off. And they talk like me. They're doctors, they're lawyers, they're firemen, they're police officers. Police officers that have been burned in court. Just like that movie American Gangster with my man Denzel. Denzel Washington. Fuck. Right? Seeing him get old was really hard. Him and Schwarzenegger. Seeing him get old is just really hard to. And I get old, but I ain't them. They weren't allowed to get old. Sylvester Stallone, he wasn't allowed to get fucking old. Why'd he get old? He's a superstar. Will Smith, I don't know, he slaps like a bitch. I don't really like Will Smith too much, but I think that he's a disgrace going up there and doing that. Even if he was talking about what his wife has, I have the same thing. You can't tell because I got a lot of hair, but I take care of it. But see, why'd I tell you? Did I want to be a victim? Oh, is somebody gonna come and slap me? Oh, fuck yeah. They've already slapped me with all kinds of shit. And I'm still here. Because I'm gonna die original, folks. I'm not gonna die as sheeple. I'm not gonna stand before the Lord because, folks, I'm telling you, He's real. Okay? If I'm here, He's real. And what's coming for all the people that have been bullshitting the Lord because they have free will to do so and their judgment isn't until they die? Well, now God created some people so that they could create, because I believe that we're also, I won't say that, but ancient astronaut theorist dudes, they know a lot. They keep digging. They shouldn't, because when they find out what they want to find out to tell the whole world, then we all end. Because everybody knows about Dwight D. Eisenhower when he went on that plane and what was told to him. So, a lot of things that seem so simple or seem so confusing, they both have the opposite effect of each other. And so, what we need to do, because once that nuclear bomb started hitting, folks, you're talking trouble. We weren't talking about nuclear weapons. We were just talking about Trump in 2015 to 2020. Wasted 5 fucking years. Why we all aired our. You don't see any other countries talking about abortions. Other countries, especially in the Catholic countries, it is illegal. You will go to jail. So those girls don't have babies. They wait, and if they have a baby, then they put it up for adoption. How do I know? I'm adopted. I'm Central American Indian, Iberian, West Nigerian Jew. My journey is fucking long, folks. And see, for me, when I talk to 18 and 28 and 38-year-olds, I feel like I'm home. I feel like I'm talking to minds that I've been fucked over for the same when I was their age, by the same adults. When I was 30, my whole life was taken from me. I got accused of a crime I didn't do. They knew I didn't do it. But because I lived a lifestyle that they didn't like, what? I told the truth? I never lied to any law enforcement, ever, ever, never, fucking nowhere. And you look at my paper, you go, fucking, you know what? There's not one place a police calls him a fucking liar. He's told the truth. And they still fucking come after me. And see, for me, folks, I came up with an app for that. I can take every police report, the worst handwriting, throw it through the wizardknowsalltellsall.com supercomputer, and I can pick your bigots out. I can pick your racists out. I can pick your the law enforcement of creating the small fish, the big fish criminals to be institutionalized men when they come out and they are fucked up. See, our prison systems don't teach the boys to not come back. They're too busy trying to stay alive their own selves because now the criminals that they're watching, they'll shank them from out of nowhere. So now the criminal, that's how the criminals get the guards fucking under their thumb. So how do I know that? I know a lot of things, folks. I've been put in jail many times for things I haven't done. And soon, they want to do reform. You want to do criminal reform? How about this? When a man spends his time for the crimes that he did do, and he paid his debts to society, that's not going to show up on Popo's computer anymore. And I suggest everybody get tinted windows. This way they can't pre-bias you and profile you. Because every time I drove a car with tinted windows, I never got messed with. It's until I got out of the car and there happened to be a policeman around. That's when they come fucking with me. And it's really weird because when I talk to them, I can feel them. I can feel it. They don't realize that they immerse this fucking ooze out of their body, their faces, their body language. That's why I do object-oriented programming, folks. Look that up. I'm one of the best in the world. I don't live in Los Angeles. I don't live in New York. I live in fucking Denver. You heard me? Look at that picture I took. That picture does not even do justice of what I saw. The different shadings, the buildings out, the building on the right's all lit up, and the dark shadows in the little crevices, and the sun coming up from behind that building. That's one of my favorite buildings of all time in Denver. There's a lot of good buildings in Denver. See, that's where we should be taking all of our children on field trips to look at our buildings and look at our history. No, what they do is they make our children go and so when the teachers go on strike, the kids go on strike, or if something goes wrong in some other city because the fucking kid didn't stand down when the cop told him to go fucking home. See, this is the thing that these people want us to think. So that, oh, well, since you can't teach your children, and we're definitely not going to teach your children, except the ways that we want to get them perverted and get them into a mode to where all of our nonprofits are here to help them all. So what these people actually do in Denver is they create everything bad in order to subsidize all their nonpartisan bullshit organization. Lisa Calderon, Denver Downtown Partners, fucking name them. They're all been indexed. All of them. All the ones, Geltz, Susan Barnes Geltz. I mean, I heard she's 100 years old. She looks like she's 100 to me. I mean, she looks like she's like Betty White. But she's the biggest scum cheese. And she don't even know it. Now she does. And they're laughing. Oh, yeah, wait, lady. Because your legacy when you go is going to be true. And it happens to everybody. Good, bad, or indifferent. Everybody comes out and talks. It was when you run for election, everybody comes out and talks. Well, I've already talked. And I'm ready. And I'm prepared. And we've been indexing 24/7. Everything these fucking people do. So one day I'll have that conversation with Michael Hancock. Hey, man. Were you really scared? I heard you were scared to debate me. Your people knew. You were like, I'll debate him. I'll debate him. No, dude. That guy who's older than you, looks younger than you. He tore your ass up on 7th Street in Colorado Boulevard in front of everybody. Ask Debbie Ortega. Ask everybody that heard Mayor Hancock 3 times say, "That's a good one, Giavanni. That's a good one, Giavanni. That's a good one, Giavanni." That's kind of how he talks. I shook his hand. He had a good handshake. Looked me in my eye. Well, that's right. But he didn't have a handshake like Mayor Webb. But like Mayor Webb. I never met Pena. I don't really care to until I'm mayor. And then I can show him all the weaknesses in his digital world, just like I can with Webb. And when those two find out that their people, their IT people, should have told them, look, did you know that these 2 mayors you're going to meet are the decay mayors? And you're about to go and high five them and slap them on their asses and give them slippy kisses and tell everybody how wonderful you all 4 are. In the digital world, young man, that ain't working no more. That's why young men need to come ahead and fix this so that when they're my age, they're not up at wee hours of the day and night, 24/7, writing content that strikes him while he sleeps or while he's doing something. But this is a lot of people now. They're realizing how to use people's conversations against them. And the people that are doing it have been told that it's being, and they keep doing it. That's why you see what you see. My name is up there as the hashtag. But you don't see my name anywhere in there. And I'm the guy that can deliver because I own Colorado Politics for Denver Rights News. We're going to be launching that probably in the next fall or spring. Maybe summer. Definitely not winter. So, anyways, I guess that's it. I've been talking for 22 fucking minutes, man. And I have all these people's head, all their voices in my fucking head. I surely got what I deserved. I didn't realize it was going to be like that. And I realized that most of these Democrat operatives that are running for office, they don't have to go knock on doors. They have people, they just go and sign their. You're going to see that. You'll see the ones first putting in their the petitions. I'll be the last one, like always. But I know what to do now this time. And you know, we're not having the e-sign verification no more. I got an email where they said they're not going to do it. So now that I talk about it, they'll probably come back and say they did it. And then they'll say, oh, well, you know, he's not telling the truth. I show the email, but when they already talk, they've already lost. I pattern matched everything that fucking comes out of that worthless Paul Lopez. You guys reelect that guy, that monkey, okay? Viva La Russa. You elect Viva La Russa, and you're gonna end up making that guy a fucking millionaire. And the money that he makes for what they do, and as corrupt as they are, and you know how we corrupted them. And what I mean, we corrupted them by exposing them to artificial intelligence. When people understand location, and being able to use your device in a way that it benefits you in the daily conversations that you walk through and that you have yourself, because your phone is always going to be on Bluetooth. Even though you shut it off, it turns itself back on. You can't hide it. That's why people go, and sometimes it'll shut it off so that you're like, oh, let's shut off, but you see the Bluetooth or you see something or you feel something, and you go and you look. You got to know these things when you have your phone. And the other thing is, when you shut your stuff off, that just fucks everything up. Now it's got to start all over. It knows everything, but now it's got to start all over and try to figure out why did he shut off his device. Because when you shut off a device, it dies. Dead battery. When it's a dead battery, it knows. It knows everything. Your device knows everything, and what it's doing is it's learning all your habits and your emotions. It's learning the good, bad, and difference about all of us. It's learning about everywhere we go and everything that's in that room or that location at that particular time. If we were all in a stadium, okay, we could turn all those people in that stadium, they all have cell phones. We can make it one big earphone, picking up and this is what is happening. Their entire voices are all being indexed at a very powerful location, which is the Bronco Stadium. So that means that those people who are there paid money to be there. It wasn't a free, we didn't go to the park. You see how this social credit system scores and rankings works? So when you pay money, you outdo those that don't pay money. That's why you have Google ads on the top and Google ads on the bottom. We write content that is the foundation for Google ads on the top. We build content. Our content our content is paid by the Google ads on the bottom. The Google ads on the bottom is the foundation for Google organic search, which is this content right here. And see, there's no ads for this stuff. See right here where it says denvergov.org? This should be denver.gov. But see, it looks like it's denver.gov, but it's denver.gov.org. So it's a Denver government organization. It's not a Denver government. Because you have to have denver.gov to have that Denver government status. And so since these folks have not moved it and they haven't flipped the switch yet because they haven't got all the IRS agents and all the people in play that they need to come swooping down on Denver, because Denver is going to be the fade calf that they need to show the rest of the United States who's next. And it's too late for these people. You can't undo what you've done for 60 fucking years in 1 day, 2 days. It takes 12 years. And that's off my plan. And we have cityandcountyofdenver.us, cityandcountyofdenver.com, cityandcountyofdenver.org. We have all the non-governmental platforms that we need to build a digital dome around that we have already. So that when the media starts pulling their heads out of their fucking crotches, man, start pulling their noses out of the assholes that they fucking deep dig, grind, sniffing out. And you can tell that you can tell when you see their faces. Just think about shit being on their faces and what it smells like, and look at their expressions. They have shit written all over their faces, but you don't see it because you're not object-oriented programmers. You don't know how to look for the detail, the slightest twitch of a face that looks like they smelled some shit. Look for those pictures. And the other thing, too, is that it's not been indexed before, but it was a year ago, where if a candidate comes out and he runs for all these different offices, Mike Coffin is not, he's a metahuman man. So you can't count him into this. We're talking about just the locals, or the senators that want to come and run for mayor. You're a fucking senator, man. You're going backwards. It's usually city council, mayor, governor, senator, president. No. Hey, Obama's going to be mayor of Chicago. What he did is shit all over the office of the President of the United States of America if he took that job. Overqualified. And so that's what's happening here. But they're underqualified. so that when you think about the guys that write in the Gazette and Day and Week News, whoever the fuck that is, which you can find out, all you got to do is go to the Who Is database and look it up, and then they don't, some of it's all private, but there's a way to find that out too, folks. But you got to be an extractor, a cloud extractor, and this isn't hacking. This is using content that they've either said, they've either posted, took a picture of, a video of, and that's what's being used against them now. It's already been written. I've been working on this for 12 fucking years, and now you're starting to see it. This is the kind of mayor I am. I don't need the Denver Post to tell the fucking my story. I'll tell my own story. I'll tell it first before they get to fucking. This is beautiful. Think about it. There isn't a person in the world that can do what I do in the level of what I can do. And I'm going to give it all to the citizens of Denver so that those 18 and 28 and 38-year-olds that have been lied to for fucking their whole lives. We're non-political, folks. And it's about time that Susan Barnes-Gelt pulls her head out of her ass. Because she has shit all over their face, man. All over her whole body. Look at her. She looks like she smelled shit. And it's coming off her own face, man. That's why it looked like that. You can't hide that shit, folks. That's why, certain people can play poker and certain people can't. And the girls and the women in Denver right now, they're just bluffing with their muffin. And their muffins are old, man. I'm an 80s metal singer. I tell it like it is. I shoot from the fucking hip, not the lip. And now I can shoot from the digital world down into the metaverses of other people who have had no business being in my metaverse. So when these people try to talk me out of an election, they'd already lost. My content starts to infiltrate to them. But now it does it. Oh, they don't even have to click on my stuff. Now it just goes with their voices and what they talk, because they've been talking the same shit for 3 fucking elections. John Murray, he's been talking the same fucking shit and bouncing around for fucking his whole career. And his career is about to go fucking deep. Dark web. Same with Connor McCormick Kavanaugh. Same with Ben Marcus. Marcus. He likes to bullshit people to thinking that he's the Ben Marcus. Okay? You ain't even a real Marcus. You're a K, dude. C before K. Get it? You need some vitamin K, bruh. But that Ben Marcus, man, and all these people, I'm going to see them one day so I can bless them. I'm going to give them a heavy metal blessing like we used to do in the 80s. So when sidewinders, fake, bigots, bullshit fucking dudes walked in a room, we just, get the fuck out of here, man. You don't want it here. Your digital presence is not needed any longer. And that's how you get blackballed. So you won't be blackballed in your moral world because you can continue to lie to them. But those doors will close too, because artificial intelligence will protect those that are being lied to. It has no choice. It is the choice. It's what it decides. It's what it's been programmed to do. We have a lot of IT people that are 24 years old, 22, coming out of MIT or some of these other technical colleges, and praised as gurus, and all the faculty will go to him and rub his head so they can get some of his knowledge, and none of them realize that he's fucking no different than them. Actually, he's actually worse, because why those guys that are 40 and 50 rubbing on his head thinking, oh God, you're MIT, oh shit, Mickey Mouse, fuck. And it's nothing against those institutions. They do good things. But what they got to do is teach those young men that if you don't have a life, if you don't have any experiences now, if there's no documentation, recordings, or images, and it's not the cheese whiz images that you see with Kelly and Lisa and all these, Google search the name, all you see is cheese. You know, when you take a picture, you go cheese. Well, that's called, the after effect is called cheese whiz. And when you see cheese whiz pictures about people, like when you Google search Kelly J. Brow. See, I say that both ways. I would say brat because that's what they first tried to artificial intelligence. So it made me go through all the B words. Brat, bro, brow. Brat, bro, brow, brat, bro, brow, brat, bro, brow, brat, bro, brow. More money, more money, more money, more money, money. Wrote a song with Annabelle of the Wind. So when I tell people we're going to make Denver the entertainment capital of middle United States, it's true. You know, they don't tell you that, you know, I record music. I've worked with some really good artists. Working with worked with the um, you know, doesn't matter. I'm not gonna tell you. You don't want to know. You want to go and elect women because of their color, and that's the thing. Another thing that a woman does that men don't. Well, now men do. The young men, because the women have been teaching and taking away the power of men and degrading them and all this, and then the husbands are now watching the kids, and they're the new bitches now. So this is how it all was built in the mortal world, and now they're trying to bring this shit into the digital world, and people should be ashamed of yourself. And like me, I've been poor many times, and people like Hancock and Mayor Webb, who sucked off the fucking nanny tit for nipple for their whole careers, and yet Webb had produced something. Pena produced something. They deserve their money. Hickenlooper won based off of a fucking brown scooter jumping out of a fucking airplane, taking a shower with his fucking clothes on. His number one platform, his agenda, to eradicate homelessness. That's where eradication finally got set in so that it could be pattern matched. And see, we pattern match now history because everything that he said is now available on the World Wide Web publicly. We don't have to worry about what's in the cloud. And if I was in front of a judge, I could show him some advanced algorithms, and you'd see content like this that would lend credence because of where we are today. Because Hancock is the decay mayor too. Where we are, as far as the city beautiful goes, where nothing ever gets fixed. It's always band-aids, and when they fix our roads, they put in fucking asphalt that they don't even let cure, so that people driving on it, and then it starts piling down. Oh, they got these. They heat them with this heat stuff. That don't work, folks. That's just smoke and mirrors, so you can believe what they tell you because you're believing what you're seeing. But it ain't doesn't work. Because right now in Colorado Boulevard, certain spots where they did some work up here on the south end by Hamden, potholes badly. It's like, really? So, guess what we can do? We have an app that we can put on the rim of your tire so that it's programmed to your car's computer, and or we could plug it into your car, which would be really better. But it'll feel those bumps that you hit, and once that bump hits at a certain level of what a serious pothole would bring damage to your shocks. And so to me, I think, oh man, do they do this on purpose so that cars break, and then because some of these holes are huge, it's like the concrete just came out of it. That's what happened. They didn't plan it. But what happens is then that creates new jobs for those people that need new shocks and struts and front end alignments, and replace all the front end that needs to be the steering mechanism. Everything's bent. And people get in their car and they're like, man, I hit that pothole. My car don't. It's now it's all crooked. Well, what's crooked is your alignment. And then some people, you can drive behind certain cars, and it looks like they're going sideways. I can see it. Just it could be going like an inch, and I can see the difference. That's I can't read a I can't read text because it jiggles around. I have to put a machine on it. But I can see I can see wavelengths. I see so many different things that I stop telling people because they don't see it. So that's what's happening now. This is why my 12 years of doing this is going to end on April 4. And I'll take my battled fucking body. My kids are grown up, living their own lives. Two are working for the government, and one's in the restaurant business. So, taking after Pop. But my two sons, were very intelligent. They're so busy, I don't get to see them much. My son's in the army. My other one's in a government, uh, working in the government. Can't tell you what that is, but they snatched them. They went in there and took those tests. And they're like, "Wow, that's a really high score. Come on." My son's now army. Just graduated from his basic training. He's training to be. Now he's going into. He's a. He's going to be a Army Special Forces Ranger Trooper dude. He's going for all of them. And that's sad because I know that he might not come home one day when he fulfills his mission to protect the United States. And he's been telling me that since he was 4 years old. His mother told me that she was just a baby factory for me so that my kids would go to war. And I think about all the generations that missed the war. And now I think about my kids will probably be in that, and your kids, and anybody else that are 40 years old, 40 to 48-year-olds. They're 18-year-olds. They're 20, 24. The other ones aren't coming home when this next war happens. Whew. That's just. See, I should be showing you guys algorithms like that, but I can't. I just can't. I'm not allowed to. For the safety of our United States, I can't. But I'm teaching other people that can. And they'll be able to tell you how much information they can tell you. Because this is all trade secret stuff I've developed. And it's sad because I want to believe in our city council and I want to believe in the mayor, but they're too fucking stupid to know what's coming. The Democratic Party of Denver are too fucking stupid to realize that they're about to fucking their whole everything they've done in the last 60 years is about to get busted up. Because the IRS, they're not protecting the Democrats. They're not protecting the Republicans. They're going to protect the tax codes. That's what they're there for. They're not your friend. They're not Joe Biden's friend. Joe Biden's doing things that he thinks because he can't think. So there's people that do their jobs every day that are getting things passed so they can continue to do their jobs every day. And that includes the IRS agents that people have been shitting on for fucking a long time. They're the worst treated people, I believe, in now law enforcement. That's why they're coming armed. And so these people are too fucking stupid to know that there's a high probability they're coming for these people. Because when you think about the Spear Amendment, that's real, folks. And when lawyers and judges, when they don't do what they're supposed to do and do the right thing, when they know, They got a chance before January 1. Because if they take the conversation through the election, they're indexing you folks, man. If I'm indexing you, come on, man. Let's not bullshit nobody. If I'm indexing you, our government's indexing you. And for me, I'll always love my government. They could do whatever they want to me. I don't give a fuck. But I love George Washington. I love Aunt Jemima. And I love fucking Uncle Ben Rice. And I love the Washington Redskins. It's just part of the system to remove everything that gives us a reminder of who we are and how we built it, and honoring the Redskins. They are Redskins. What the fuck? Just like black people, black skin, Latino, brown, white, white. Asian has colors too. And notice how there's no talk of Asians? I believe the Asians are the worst treated humans, and that's why you see the Asian doctrine. That's what I call it. And the Asian doctrine is where they're all going to unite, every one of them, and they're going to teach everybody that have been shitting on them since forever. They've been made fun of. All of them. As soon as they realize that they're all Asian, whew, I've seen the algorithm for that too, folks. I've seen it. And so that's why Asians, man, they don't get in nobody's business. Why? Because they don't want you in their business. That's what I learned from my senseis. You know, and I watch these young parents taking their kids to their little. They're not even dojos, man. They're not dojos. I watch the way they walk into it. They're not dojos. Those are just retail karate wannabes that teaching our young kids to walk around in their gis. The most disrespectful thing that you could fucking do. I'm standing at the store and I got these little kids. There's like fucking like they're 11 and 10, and that's little to me, folks. And they got their little yellow belts and white belts, and one had a green belt. And I was like looking at them, and I was like, you know, you're not supposed to be wearing your gis out in public, right? And they look at me and they're like, one of them goes, "You don't know what you're talking about, old man." And I said, "Yeah? Well, how about if I go over to your little karate place and I go kick your sensei's ass?" "Oh, I'm gonna go tell." They went and told him. I was coming out of the store. And he's looking at me. He goes, "Did you have a conversation?" "Yeah, dude. Do you want me to kick your ass in front of all these kids?" "I will, dude. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, Hapkido, and Tang Sudo. I'm Miss Martial Arts, bro. I don't need to fucking brag. I don't need to make. I'm just letting you know who I am. My hands are registered with the FBI. So if you want to fuck with me, then make your move. If not, take your kids and go back and teach them the wrong stuff to do. And what you're doing now is wrong. And that's why you will lose. Capiche?" He turned around and walked away because he knew. He knew, man. I kicked his ass with fucking communication. I told him exactly what was going to happen. I don't back down. And many men like me don't back down, but we're teaching our boys to back down. See, those little boys thought I was an old man. They went and told their sensei that I was going to go there and kick his ass. I know that's what they told him. That's not what I said. I said that, right? Do you know what I said? Play it back. So I say things in double terms, backward terms, frontward terms, because these videos are not meant to be watched. There's the truth. After 49 minutes, you finally got it. And there are people ain't waiting this long to listen to this. The only ones that do are the ones that are seeking knowledge. Seeking knowledge far beyond what they're being taught in their mortal world. Ones that realize that they're going to get fucking old. And that the beauty that they have and all the stuff that they have, you got to learn to grow old gracefully. The lines on your face when you look old, most people I've realized that look like that. And tight-lipped people like that guy from he's a commander or an admiral Kirby or something like that. He's a tight-lipped. That guy's been holding up information so long, he's tight-lipped. That's not good. That means he knows more bad things than he's talking about. So when I see it, my dad taught me that. My dad taught me how to look for tight-lipped people. And when you get a tight-lipped person involved, you can't trust them. You can't trust a tight-lipped person. He's tight-lipped. And the more tight-lipped he is, and look at it, Kirby. I think he's a Mandel Kirby. He's in the department of something. I know, but you got to look it up yourselves and look at him when you see him on TV. The next thing I'm going to close this is that the media, ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, Fox News, they've all been indexed. Fox News was indexed so much that when they were beaten up on the New York Times, but on the side of the other face, they were talking out their ass about how all their hosts are number one bestsellers on New York Times bestseller list. And then I heard Tucker Carlson start to talk about the book, and then he goes, "Oh, we're not allowed to talk about being on New York Times bestseller." Yeah, right, dude. Because you're not as honest as you say you are, dude. And I indexed you, and yours in the cloud. I can start writing content and then just crush him. Though he wouldn't deserve to be crushed. Even though I called him up on the phone and he cussed me out like a bitch. Who are you to call? This was like years ago, many years ago. And like maybe fucking 40 years ago, when he was first coming out, we had his phone number listed. He answered the phone. He got mad. Who the fuck are you, baby? I saw the real him when he picked up that phone. It's like, oh, dude, you're so lucky you talk to me like that. Because if you talk to me like that in real life, I bitch slap you in front of everybody, Tucker. I know you pretend to be that you want to be a tough guy, but you're not. You're not at all tough. What you are, though, in some aspects, is you're taking over the Rush Limbaugh spot. Because Mark Levin is good, but he's one-sided. He's way one-sided, and he doesn't want to hear nothing. And I think he's just a shit stirrer that Democrats hired to talk his shit because nothing changes. How does that happen? The party that does the worst is the ruler. The party that claims to be the best is the loser. That's not me. That's artificial intelligence. Everything's in front of us all. And the good news is, here's the good news. When I'm 65, and I'm doing my life, I'm walking away from the digital world. I'm selling it all to assets that are going to create hundreds of millions of dollars. And I'm going to not leave it to my family. I'm not going to leave it to nothing but to future children that do the right thing. And we'll be able to know because, see, artificial intelligence is the new Santa Claus. Artificial intelligence is the new digital God. And I've spent many years writing content to bring Denver back to City Beautiful. And on the digital world, I'm letting everybody know, in the digital world, it's all legal. But I am programming artificial intelligence to make certain people go to the dark web every time they fucking open their mouth. Mayor Hancock, Mayor Webb, Mayor Pena, everybody in the city council, everybody that they talk to, all their node connections, all their email connections, all their voicemail connections, all their text connections, all their image connections, all their video connections. It's all been digitalized. And so all those 13 dwarfs and one of them, Debbie, trying to run for mayor, first woman Latino. Oh, what are we gonna do? Do we pick the white woman Latino? Huh? Do we no? Do we pick the white woman or the Latino, or do we pick the black woman? Oh, what do we do? What do we do? Oh, everybody's just biting their nails. Well, what about the murder rate being the highest it's been for fucking 3 elections? Record. We don't care about that. I'm not dead. They're not coming after me. That's what they think. Out of sight, out of mind. It ain't happening to them, so then it don't matter. Till it happens to them, but it never happens to them because they have their own security. They got everything. That's why they're called kleptocrats. Denver was indexed over 10 years ago as a non-partisan government, even though it's non-political. You have to go with what they're saying. Then in 2015, they were indexed as a monopoly government. It was listed on that favorite Wikipedia that since 1963, a Democrat's been in power. When Democrat mayor turned non-political realized, Mayor Spear, that we named Spear Boulevard after, that we don't teach our children anymore, so that's how you're able to take over the election process. Remember that out of sight, out of mind? Let's take Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, Washington. Let's remove anything of color and of Indian out of everything and do it in the name of protecting them. So now when people say Washington Redskins, now there's no mention of any redskin anywhere. The tomahawk chop, they're going to take that out. The Braves, they're taking that out too. It's just a matter of time before they break. Before the people that don't have anything takes away everything that they have and they stood for all these years. So now we won't even know what Braves are because we're no longer brave. The sports are going international. They're going global. So United States, there's a lot more in China. That the fans they have in China for NBA equals our whole total population, folks. So when China talks about when we talk about a 1,000,000-man march, they could do a 3,000,000-man march, 4,000,000-man march. They could just send all their NBA fans to war, and they think about it. They have more. They have 400 million. No, what is it? Is it 400 million? Or is it 400 billion? We know what it is, right? Like I said, I don't want to tell you. I'm just writing. See, when I say what I'm saying, I do it in a way. It's code. It's crypto. But you can't see my crypto because you don't know my crypto. So I say things on one video that says another video that says another video. I got all these videos that have the same conversation that's flipped to another conversation that's told on another video that's told on another video that is explained in my images. And the timer goes off on January 1, folks. So we need all these people coming out of the closet so that they can solidify what they've been doing, because they're already indexed. It's not like we have to do it. We live in a small world, right? Well, Denver's even fucking smaller, and their digital footprint is almost non-existing. There I am, right there. Denver Right, my enemy. We're Denver Right's news, as in the right to have our news, not the right of what their right is. You know, I don't like that Denver Right. I don't like the Colorado Public Radio. I don't like DeWilt. DeWilt. He's next. We're going to index him deep, and he ain't going to be able to run. And he can't run now. And you think about it, like out of all the people, Mayoral Candidate, First City Summit for Denver News. That's crazy. So now I took out the hashtag Giavanni. It brought the images from 450 million to 413, my lucky number. It wasn't so lucky with Karen Hubler filing false documents. And here's the interesting thing, folks. When they put that stamp and they delivered it to an out-of-state address, their crimes became federal. Payable with $250,000 fines and 5 years in jail. Hard time. So those people that knowingly, and see, they could say, what, you sent a government document to give me notice to an address I didn't live for 10 years? When the magistrate judge who signed that order for that address was the attorney for the respondent, my ex, who came up with the perennial plan that states that I was not allowed to leave the state of Colorado with my children. I'm not allowed to leave the state of Colorado, period, without a court order. Period. So how did I live in Norfolk, Virginia? And then they sent all the different other warnings to 3 different other addresses. Not the same wrong address. Because they couldn't send it to Norfolk because why? I wasn't there. So they came up with one that kind of looked like my address. As soon as they put that stamp on that letter locally, well, the other one was a more serious offense because it's crossing state lines. Every single state that it crossed, it violated its law. Now, when you think about local, when they put that stamp on that false address that they knew, because they all conspired. This is the city attorney's office. I have the documents, folks, which I'm trying to make it so that they fix it on the internal, but it's not going to. No, they're coming after me for other things that I'm not talking about because it's going to be getting thick. And I'll go by myself, man, whether I lose or not, because all the lawyers in Denver are pieces of fucking garbage when it comes to the family courts. They are fucking garbage. And so they all know, now they're all indexed. Block and Chapeau, I hope that fucking dude chokes on a pork chop, man. Yeah, I met him. We shook hands. Knocked him off his little balance. His little fat belly couldn't. Yeah, dude, what do you think you gonna try to shake my hand like you're my dad or something? I'm my dad. Boom. Ask Webb how I shook his hand. I shook his hand so strong that he left the library, and everybody's going, "Where did Mayor Webb go?" He left because he's afraid I'm going to roast him, and I would have just complimented him. But that's what guys like that have been bullshitting people do, because they don't know how to be honest with anybody. And it's sad because I like Mayor Webb. I like the vibe he had, but I also felt another vibe. I felt a racist vibe, man. Because I find that a lot of people that fight racism are racist themselves. Because I have a lot of black friends, white friends, we all get together. We don't talk racism. We're not talking nothing. Only the people that want to keep being in power talking about the same worthless fucking shit. Is there racism? Yes, there's racism, but let's not bullshit nobody. But we're talking about the racism that they're talking about. The retail racism. And that retail racism, well, it's not going to work no more. And Hancock, when he's 60 years old and he sees what he's done to Denver, they're gonna fucking take that money away from him, and then he really will have to go get a real fucking job. He'll be a busboy or something because he will lose all of his fucking everything he has. He'll be trying to be like, oh yeah, yeah, Michael. So what's gonna happen when you wake up, you and all the city council members, and you don't get your money? Mayor Webb and all of them. See, they're old. They don't. They've already got money. So hopefully you've saved your money and you've divested in it in all the little things that you do. Because divesting is what you do best. So hopefully you divest your own funds so that one day when Denver becomes where they can't bullshit, they can't pass no fees, the jig is finally fucking up, and Denver's on its fucking knees begging somebody to do something. Where's Giavanni? Oh, he's fucking gone, man. And the city and county of Denver's social platforms have all been taken over by another country that realizes that those are just entry points to the World Wide Web for the United States of America. And though I will not sell them to anybody other than a United States owned thing. I can't do it. It's just for the protection of and that's, folks, yeah, I'm walking away from $100 million, but I just don't want, I can't put our government in jeopardy knowing what those websites mean in the commercial industry, not in the government sense, because we are not government. If we were government, we'd be Denver.gov, or in Denver.gov. That's why they made that, so there'd be no confusion, because cities aren't allowed to make money. Cities aren't allowed to impede businesses to make money. In Denver, that's all they do is impede. They impede everything that they fucking do. That's why there's no growth. They take away the growth. Only a few people run things, and then they start bringing up the abortions. They start bringing up the homelessness. They start bringing up all these fucking false narratives that they promise to eradicate. Only their actions, their videos, their cameras, their node connections, it all builds a different conversation. And that's artificial intelligence. God bless Denver. God bless Colorado. God bless the United States of America. The roads aren't even bumpy yet, folks. It's about to fucking hit the fan. All because we all got lazy. And we all believe in the same fucking worthless politicians year after year. We don't know who the good guy is. We don't know who the bad guy is. We have certain Republican leaders voting for Democratic stuff, and it's just smoke and mirrors. And now artificial intelligence is going to clean that out, and that alone should cause concern for the security of the United States of America. That's why I notify the people I have to in regards to the disinformationczar.us, because we got to protect the home front. We have to protect the people in Homeland Security and everybody else. Nothing serious has happened to us yet. And you can thank Homeland Security for that. But the citizens don't know which side anybody's on anymore. And that brings an opportunity for the bad actors, the antichrists, if you will, to come in and save the world. Save the world from itself. I don't believe in Antichrist. I believe in doing the right thing. I believe in everybody has an opportunity to be better than what they are. Some people just can't run 6-second 100-meter dashes. Just ain't gonna happen. Now, we can, think about it. Ain't gonna happen. Doesn't matter what color your skin is. Doesn't matter who you're having sex with. Doesn't matter any of your political ideologies or any of your fantasies. You ain't gonna get that job. And that's how diversity really works, folks, in the artificial intelligence world. you can't come up and start talking about shit like a lot of these politicians over the years are just repeating the same words. Just like Leslie, Leslie Harris, she passes laws that are pro criminal law as a state rep, promising all those people that she's going to keep doing more of the same, and they're voting. And then as she gets off that platform, she goes across the street and tells the Denver citizens that she's going to represent them and that she's going to, fix the homelessness and fix the crimes. And like, girl, are you fucking stupid? You're wearing way too much makeup for your age, girl. Tone that down.